conversation, or asynchronous is where the lecture is delivered and afterwards you can contact the deliverer for any queries. It is also thought to have the e-content in small modules, say 8 to 10 minutes duration, so that it can be easily uploaded on YouTube or even WhatsApp, because our students are very technology savvy. Almost all of them have access to WhatsApp. So, say if a student is traveling or say if he is ill, even then he might have access to the content so that his program does not suffer. Again, the use of active learning will be encouraged throughout, because with CBCS, the field is so wide that, as we mentioned earlier, the traditional chalk and board concept alone will not help in realizing our objectives. Also, the students will have to be encouraged to think and to learn how to learn, because some self-study will enable them or enhance their own thinking capabilities. Again, the assessment, as mentioned in the CBCS circular, will have to be on a continuous basis, not on a semester end or year end examination pattern. And hence, this can be done within the classroom. Say, in the remaining 10 minutes, last 10 minutes of the class, you can have a small quiz comprising of MCQs or very short question, or say a group of students might be asked to present a PPT on the basis of what was discussed earlier, or maybe field visits and group discussions can also be arranged, and on the basis of that, student participation and student understanding may be evaluated. These alternative methods will also reduce the burden of examination on the faculty as well as the system. And hence, it is envisioned that teachers as well as students be oriented towards this method of assessment, that is, the continuous and comprehensive assessment method. Even nowadays, schools, central board schools, and to some extent even the state board schools have started adopting this method. Now again, as I mentioned, in the generic elective section or in the foundation elective section, there are a wide variety of courses which are offered by renowned universities or institutes. For example, SCOPE or the Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University or IGNOU, etc. offer certain courses which are recognized throughout the country. Hence, these courses may be included at a later stage as electives in our scheme. Since they are already nationally recognized, hence they have already a set pattern of deliverance, assessment and evaluation. So, it would not be a problem for either our faculty or our students to adapt to their courses. Agencies like Entrepreneurship Development of India in Gandhinagar or the Ahmedabad Management Association, MICA, that is Mudra Institute of Communication Arts, PRL, Physical Research Laboratory, and Institute of Plasma Research, to mention a few, also have short-term courses or say short-term training programs which are widely acclaimed in their own field. These institutes can also be roped in to help our students in certain electives or certain core courses also, to enable them or to acquaint them with what is currently being practiced in the field. As we mentioned earlier, in the generic elective section, courses offered by agencies directly related with the industry may be roped in. As they are working day in and day out, they know what is in vogue, what is in demand, and hence, if they can propose, and better if they can deliver such courses, then it would be all the more better for our students to gain some knowledge which is enhancing their employability. And lastly, the operationalization of multiversity, which will act as a platform. Say, for example, in our scheme, a student of, say, College A is pursuing a program of BSc with chemistry, but he also has a passion for drawing. At present, we do not have any provision for a student to pursue his passion along with his mainstream education. But now within CBCS, in the interdisciplinary section, we can allow him to go to an art center, say to go to SEPT or any NID, and pursue one paper worth 2 credits and come back. Firstly, it has been accepted that if a student is allowed to follow his passion or his hobby, he will be able to perform better in the core area. And secondly, because he is doing it from an agency or an institute which is nationally recognized, hence there is no question of that being going in vain. Hence, Multiversity will act as a platform for various institutes to come together and offer their courses as electives for students in the interdisciplinary area. A student of one university or one institute can go for one paper to another institute of, say, his parent university or maybe another university and pursue that course. That institute already has an established system of assessment and evaluation, and hence he will come back with the credits earned by him, which can later on be incorporated into his mark sheet, lending credibility to his course. This might also be of use to him in future. Therefore, Multiversity is envisioned as a platform to enable mobility of students and portability of credits. To discuss the outcomes which were envisioned in the government circular dated 2011, first of all, portability of credits will make student movement across the institutes possible. The foremost requirement to make this functional will be a harmonized scheme. As I said, the scaffold of 144 credits will remain the same, but within the elective section, your basket can be as strong as you want it to be. There is no restriction to the number of elective courses that you can add in the various sections. As the scheme remains the same, hence students might be allowed to move across institutes and transfer the credits earned by him to his mark sheet. He gets the choice to select what to study, where to study, and when to study. He has decided upon his major subject for graduation. But with that, he also wants to pursue his hobby. So here we give him this freedom to select where to study which course. He can study his core courses in his parent institute. However, for the interdisciplinary subject, he may be allowed to move to another institute. The modalities can be worked out. It may either be an evening program or a weekend program or even a summer or winter break program. It can be discussed as and when the time arises, and depending upon the acceptance level of the offering institute as well as the parent institute. If Multiversity is operationalized, then of course it will act as an agency which smooths out the process. Here again, as we said, the student can choose an interdisciplinary elective of, say, painting or sculpture at SEPT, or say town planning, etc., a program in art at Kanoria Arts or at NID, or a simple course in designing. It may be anything. It may be in society, it may be in engineering, it may be a simple design for some bench or anything. He can do it at NID. So we give the freedom, all sorts of choices. We give him the freedom to exercise all choices within the interdisciplinary, the generic as well as the foundation area. Further, only if it is for one paper, but still the student will get an exposure to renowned institutes like EDI or Ahmedabad Management Association, PRL, IPR, etc., where research and activities, rather he will get a hands-on exposure to what is being currently adopted and implemented in actual field. The overall system aims at developing the personality of the student with an all round capacity. The need of the time is not only a degree but also a social and life skill capacity which will enhance his ability to deal with challenges in life and also increase his employability. The main aim of adopting CBCS is increasing the employability of the students, because at present the major area of concern is frustration of the students once they graduate out of a program, because when they entered the program they had all sorts of dreams of changing the world, but once they come out they find that they have to run from door to door in search of jobs. So if the gap between the institute and the industry can be bridged in some manner, it will help our students and help our future generation increase his worth in the job market, and in the process increase his self-esteem as well. Because we all know, after coming out of a BSc program or a BA program or a BCom program, or say even an engineering program, if the student finds himself without job, nothing could be more disheartening for him as well as for his family. Therefore, CBCS aims at complete development of his personality within the classroom as well as outside the classroom. Just to summarize, CBCS is nothing new. We only have to change our perception of looking at CBCS according to what was mentioned in the circular of the government dated 2011. It talked of choices to student within the core and outside the core, which we are trying to do in the core elective and the foundation section in terms of interdisciplinary, generic and foundation elective courses. The program is equivalent to the honors program which is being offered throughout the country. Further, because of the foundation courses, the student also has a chance to hone his soft skills, which is a major requirement of the graduates. It is found that even though a student has complete depth of his subject, he is not able to portray it because he is not conversant with language, he is not conversant with presentation skills, he is not confident of talking between people or talking in front of somebody who he perceives to be his superior. He might be good within his peer circle, but not when he is confronted with somebody, say somebody from the industry or from the HR department. Our students are lacking behind in that area. So, within the foundation area, we hone these skills of the student. And now that India has become a permanent signatory of the Washington Accord, it is all the more necessary that our curriculum conforms to the universally acceptable pattern of studies. Hence, our students, as we all know, after completing certain courses which require high level of dedication and high level of concentration, even then when they emigrate to foreign countries, they are required to appear for certain exams to qualify to be able to practice or to be able to work over there. CBCS also aims at putting our student at par with universally acceptable standards. But of course, change is never easy. The students as well as our faculty will have to work hard to realize the objectives as imbibed in the circular and as envisioned by the department. I hope the presentation would have answered most of the questions on CBCS. However, if there is any other query, please feel free to contact us at the Knowledge Consortium of Gujarat. We'll be more than happy to answer to your questions. For now, I would like to thank you all for the patient hearing.
SANDHAN, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom. સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.